we're here today at Bailey's Bakery to make whoopie pies with you. First things first, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees and line 2 baking sheets with parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, that's okay. Just take a little bit of cooking spray like Pam and spray your pan, and you'll be all set to do it that way. So those are all set and ready to go. Now we're gonna mix our dry ingredients. We're gonna have half a cup of cocoa, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. So you're gonna take those and just whisk them together so that they're all combined. And we're just gonna set that off to the side while we get our wet ingredients mixed up. So in a mixing bowl, if you don't have a stand mixer, that's okay. Just use a medium-sized mixing bowl and use your hand mixer with the beaters and you'll be all set. So you're gonna take half a cup of vegetable shortening, like Crisco. Put that in your mixer. 1 cup of sugar. Make some noise. And you're going to turn that on and let your sugar and your shortening combine together. Make almost little balls, like, so that they're all incorporated. Let me just show you what that looks like. So it's gonna look like almost little pebbles, like snow. Put that back on. Then we're gonna add 1 egg. And a cup of milk. Get that in there. Let that all combine. Then you're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. It can be imitation or pure vanilla, whichever you have available. Let that mix in. Now, if you have a stand mixer, you can leave your mixer running for a little bit and while you're adding your dry ingredients. But if you have a hand mixer, just add half of the dry mix to the bowl and then mix as you're going so that you don't end up with powder all over your face. So turn it on low, and now you're going to add your dry ingredients. Just add them in nice and slow. Once they start to combine in the bowl, you can turn up the speed a little so that it gets all incorporated. It takes a couple of minutes to get it all in there. In. You might have a little bit of dry ingredients on the side of your bowl, and I'll show you what to do with that. So if you have a little bit of dry on the sides, just scrape it down with your spatula and fold it all in together so that it's all incorporated. So you end up with a really thick, fudgy mixture. Now you're going to take your sheet pans, and you should be able to get about 12 on each pan. So you're going to use a medium-sized scoop If you don't have a scoop, you could use a big tablespoon and just use a scoop of your tablespoon and then slide it off with a spatula. So that makes it a little bit easier for you to get the same size for each of your cakes. So let's switch this around so it's a little. So you're gonna get about 12 scoops on here. Just evenly space them out so that they can rise and not be touching. Just keep scraping your bowl so you can get the last few out. So now once you have 24 between the two sheets, you're going to put them into your oven for 6 to 7 minutes. My oven takes the longer and I have to set it for 7, so we'll go with that. All right, now while those are in the oven, you can start to get your filling ready. So I just have to clean up a little. To mix your filling, you are going to need a 1.5 cups of vegetable shortening, cup and a half. Then you're going to need 2 cups of marshmallow fluff, which mine is almost empty. I like to use the same thing I measured my vegetable shortening in because it greases it up and makes it come right back out. If you have a little bit extra, because it's mounded up, it's okay. Makes it taste delicious. So there's our 2 cups of the fluff. Then we need 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. There's 1/2 cup. Whole cup. And that gives us 1.5. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla as well. Mine's a 1/2 teaspoon measure, so we're going to put 4 in. There's that. Set your little spatula off to the side. If you're using either one, the hand mixer or the stand mixer, just be careful when you initially turn it on because you will end up covered in sugar. Parents might not like having to clean up the kitchen after that. Just start it off nice and slow, and then as it starts to incorporate, you can turn it up a little bit faster. Just takes a minute or two for it to get all together. Turn it up so that it gets nicely incorporated. So let me grab those out. So here's how you're going to look. They're going to be nice and puffy chocolate pillows. So you have to let those cool probably for about 10 to 15 minutes so that they, when you put your filling on, they don't just melt off and make a giant puddle of frosting on the side. So I actually already have another set made so I can show you guys without having to wait for the cooling time. So as they settle and cool off, they'll become a little bit flatter and almost look a little wrinkly, but that's how they cool off and still taste delicious. All right, so what I like to do is take take 12 on one sheet and just flip over all of the cakes. And then you're going to use your same scooper that you used to make them and put a heaping dollop on each one, even if it's a little bit over. You'll probably have a little bit of extra frosting, so if you wanted to go back and add more to each one, you could. So as you do each one, you're going to get like a big mound like that. So we'll do all 12. Again, if you don't have a scooper, you can just use a big tablespoon and do the same thing. Use your spatula to scrape it off. So I have like 1 scoop left. So if you want to try and divide it a little bit between each one, you can, or that's a tasty little treat by itself. So then take your covers off of your other pan, and you're gonna take each one and smoosh it on top. And I'll show you those in just a second. Just gently push it down so that you get the filling evenly distributed in between the 2 pieces of cake. So there you go. 12 delicious little whoopie pies.